Welcome back to Movie Recaps. Today, I'll share with you an adventure comedy film from 1953, loosely based upon the 1951 novel of the name Beat the Devil by British journalist Claude Cockburn, writing under the pseudonym James Helvig. The movie is directed by legendary John Huston and stars Humphrey Bogart. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The film begins with the introduction of four criminals. They pass by Harry and Gwendolen Chelm. Gwendolen suspects they are evil and guesses if they will be their fellow passengers at the Nyanga ferry. They are all waiting in Italy for passage to Africa. Billy Dannreuther is also waiting to board. He is a formerly wealthy American who has fallen on hard times. He is reluctantly working with the four crooks: Peterson, Julius O'Hara, Major Jack Ross, and Ravello, who are trying to acquire uranium-rich land in British East Africa. Billy's wife, Maria, reads out a newspaper headline, and he suspects that Major Ross murdered a British Colonial Officer who threatened to expose their plan. Maria convinces him not to make a fuss about it, as he's going to mess up their deal if he does. Billy meets a British couple, Harry and Gwendolen Chelm, who plan to travel on the same ship. Harry seems a very proper and traditional Englishman, while Gwendolen is flighty and a compulsive fantasist. The captain announces an unexpected delay in the ship's sailing. He is unsure of when it will be rescheduled. Billy invites them to a dinner with him and his wife. They travel in a car which Billy formerly gave away to the driver. Billy tells them that the restaurant they're going to for dinner is also his. He bought it because he liked the chef's cooking. When they reach a huge villa restaurant, the owner tells Harry that they're closed. But when he sees Billy, he serves them, saying nothing is closed for Billy. The next morning, Harry, who doesn't believe that Billy is actually rich, makes an excuse to go out with them. He sends his wife to go sightseeing with Billy, as he thinks he shouldn't let go of becoming acquainted with a maybe rich man. Billy and Gwendolen start an affair, while Maria flirts with Harry, bringing him tea in his room. O'Hara eavesdrops on Billy and Gwendolen and hears Gwendolen make up stories about uranium reservoirs in her husband's coffee farms. Peterson becomes suspicious that the Chelms may be attempting to acquire the uranium themselves, so he asks Billy about it, but he denies it altogether. They don't believe him. Maria tells Billy that she likes Englishmen like Harry, and that she will run away with someone like him one day. Billy doesn't seem bothered, as he's getting ready to go out. O'Hara comes to their room. Billy sees Gwendolen waiting downstairs for him and asks O'Hara to make it quick. O'Hara sees her too and starts talking about trust and other meaningless chatter to keep him busy. Meanwhile, Peterson goes to Gwendolen and tries to ask her about the uranium deal. She says that Harry is a spiritual man and is going to Africa to perform a ritual in order to rid the world of sin. Peterson is amazed, and when Harry comes, he asks about his spiritual adventure. Gwendolen excuses both of them for a walk by the beach and tells Harry that she just told him about their regular visits to the church. O'Hara sees that Gwendolen has left, quickly cuts to the chase, and leaves. Maria asks Billy if he has done anything sinister. Harry goes downstairs and talks to Gwendolen in sign language behind Harry's back. She is upset with him for not showing up. Harry and Billy go to the bar where Major Jack Ross shows up and starts bragging about his services in the Indian Army in the old days, and blabbers about many other things that hardly make any sense. He receives a phone call and takes Billy with him. Harry is left to pay the bills. Peterson, who is afraid of airplanes, decides to go to Africa by plane to get there before the Chelms. He takes Billy along, as he knows where the mineral-rich land is being auctioned. Billy leaves and Gwendolen kisses him goodbye. In the car, Peterson tells the driver to accelerate, and the car starts to jerk and then stops. The driver asks them to push the vehicle with him. They do, and it starts working. They run and sit in the car. And then it happens again. This time, when they push, the car rolls down the hill, crashes into an oncoming bus, and falls into the river. Peterson suspects it was Billy's plot, while the driver demands money for the car Billy gave him. Back at the resort, Gwendolen tells Maria to run away with a rich man as she stretches at the beach. Maria tells Gwendolen that every man wants his wife to be attractive for other men. Gwendolen tells her to explain this to Harry. Harry comes to announce the bad news. There's a rumor that Peterson and Billy died as the bus passengers witnessed the car drowning. Maria takes the news okay, while Gwendolen cries her eyes out. She tells Harry that she was in love with Billy. Harry doesn't take it seriously and thinks she is just speaking of another imaginative story. In order to replace Peterson's lost capital, Ravello approaches Harry Chelm and explains their scheme. Just then, to everyone's surprise, Billy and Peterson return to the hotel unharmed, just as the purser announces that the ship is at last ready to sail. Before boarding, Gwendolen tells Billy that she told Harry about her feelings for Billy, but he didn't believe her. Billy says that now that he is alive, Harry may be suspicious about them. Maria paints Harry on board and tells him that she notices him turning green. Harry, feeling seasick, goes to his cabin to get his medication. Peterson sends his stooge to steal Harry's bag that he cares about so much. He is sure to find what Harry is up to by searching for it. They find nothing but medication and a hot water bottle. A man from the ferry crew spots O'Hara stealing his bag. When Harry comes to get his medication, he doesn't find his bag and is reported by the sea crew about it being stolen. Harry reports it to the captain. Gwendolen tells about the situation to Billy, thinking the gang might end up behind bars. She also confesses that she lied about the uranium-rich land, as she just wanted to portray herself as superior as Billy. She reveals that Harry is an ordinary man who is the son of boarding house owners. Peterson explains that he mistook Harry's bag for his own and went through the stuff to find whose it actually was. The captain closes the case, deeming it a misunderstanding. Harry reveals that he knows about Peterson's scheme of robbing the country of vast uranium deposits, and that he intends to inform the authorities. Peterson asks what makes him believe such a thing. He tells them that Ravello told him everything when he thought he was rich enough to raise the lost capital. Peterson tells O'Hara to stay calm as they have plenty of time before they reach Africa to convince Harry. Maria tries to convince Harry not to tell on the gang as it will hurt her. She has been looking forward to the money they make with the deal. Harry asks her to stay out of it and she leaves upset. The lights go out and Harry reveals that he is an ex-officer of the Royal Marines. While everyone gets anxious at the state of the ferry, the lights come back on. As soon as Harry comes to announce that the oil pump is now in perfect working condition, the lights go back off and the ship dwindles. The drunk captain blames Harry for the problem, but Harry says it must be someone else messing with his work. The bellboy asks everyone to gather at the saloon. Peterson and his gang play cards, and Major leaves. Peterson invites Billy to join them, but he refuses. He then invites Maria, but she leaves. Harry comes along, and Peterson invites him, but he refuses to play with the people he is going to report to justice. Harry asks Gwendolen to leave Billy's table, as he is an associate of the criminals. Billy calmly tells him to stay friends with him. Gwendolen refuses to change the table, and Harry goes out to the deck for fresh air. Billy asks Gwendolen to go after Harry, but she refuses and says she wants the world to know that she loves him. Billy tells her that he suspects they'll murder him, as they murdered the other person who tried to report them. Peterson orders Major Ross to kill Harry. He puts the piano on autoplay and follows Harry. He hits Harry in the head and tries to kill him, but Billy thwarts the murder attempt. Gwendolen makes up a story about Harry being suicidal, who tries to kill anyone who tries to save him. The ship's drunken captain has Harry locked in the brig. Gwendolen tells Billy that it was best for Harry's safety and for Billy to make millions. The ship's engine malfunctions, and the passengers are told to escape by lifeboat. When Billy and Gwendolen go to rescue Harry, they find that he has freed himself and left the ship, intending to swim ashore. Having abandoned the ship, the passengers land on an African beach where they are spotted by Arab soldiers. Peterson and his gang hide their passports quickly. They are arrested and brought to an office setting. An Arab official, Ahmed, comes in. Peterson tries to explain to him that they are refugees from a shipwreck. He speaks perfect English and asks for their passports, but only Billy, Maria, and Gwendolen hand over theirs. They are interrogated by Ahmed, an Arab official who suspects that they may be spies or revolutionaries. Peterson explains that they are innocent, and he can judge their innocence in a single look. He watches them each and refuses to claim that they look innocent. Billy creates a distraction by fleeing the room and befriends Ahmed when he is recaptured by talking to him about Rita Hayworth, whom he pretends to have known. Billy then persuades him to send the party back to Italy by sailing boat. After the party land, they are questioned by a Scotland Yard detective, Mr. Clayton, who is investigating the murder of the colonial officer. Just as he seems to be taken in by Peterson's smooth talk, Gwendolen reveals Peterson's scheme, his involvement in the murder, and his attempt to kill Harry. The detective promptly arrests Peterson, O'Hara, Ross, and Ravello. As the four crooks are led away in handcuffs, Gwendolen says goodbyes to Maria and Billy. She receives a telegram from British East Africa. She exclaims with excitement, saying, "Harry's alive!" Maria reads the telegram and faints. Billy reads the telegram, which says that Harry has acquired the land where Peterson and the others were aiming to enrich themselves. He is now extremely wealthy and will be a uranium king if he survives liver chill. He is willing to forgive Gwendolen if she makes it to him with his hot water bottle. Billy laughs happily, saying, "This is the end! The end!" This is a funny, silly movie that is bound to make you laugh. The little details, like O'Hara being wrongly called O'Horror, and the accents of the characters, are hilarious. Be sure to like if you decide to watch this movie based on this recap. That'd be an hour well spent. Subscribe to our channel for more recommendations.